Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing what I'd call a really necessary and frankly quite a sobering look at premature judgment.
It really is.
We're analyzing sources that span nearly 2 decades, and they draw this incredibly sharp line between a fictional crisis and, well, a modern legal nightmare.
And that line is really the human cost of an accusation. We have this compelling analysis of a 2007 film, Undertrial, Judgment in the Age of Instant Outrage.
Right.
And it basically acts as this profound ethical warning. And we're pairing that story directly with the brutal reality of a 2025 legal case, the Maharashtra judge case.
So our mission today, it's not really to debate the facts of any specific case. It's to quickly get to the film's core message. Why is the speed at which we, as a society, make these verdicts so dangerous?
And why is a warning from 2007 even more urgent now in 2025?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're focusing on the process, the just devastating damage that assumption causes when society convicts someone before the courts have even opened the file.
It's all about that irreversible social verdict, isn't it? I mean, once an accusation goes viral, once it becomes the narrative,
It's over.
it's pretty much over. The damage to a person's reputation, their career, their dignity, it's often complete. And that's regardless of what some piece of paper from a court says, months or even years down the line.
Okay, so let's dig into that. Let's look at the film's core, starting with the main character, Sagar Hussain.
Right.
The analysis we have paints him as, well, profoundly ordinary. He's a lower middle-class laborer. His whole life is defined by honest, relentless work.
His only real wealth is his integrity,
Yeah, that's all he has. That and his pride in his family. I mean, this is a guy who fights exhaustion every single day just to feed his wife and kids with some dignity.
And that portrait, that quiet dignity, it's so essential to the story because it just maximizes the shock of what happens next.
Oh, yeah.
The sources are clear on this. The world doesn't just turn on him, it explodes violently.
Yeah.
The unthinkable happens.
His own minor daughter accuses him of sexual assault.
Exactly. I mean, it's the ultimate betrayal. It's the kind of scenario where that immediate emotional reaction just completely overwhelms any possibility of objective thought.
And the film's structure, it's almost deliberately manipulative to drive this point home, isn't it? The sources explain that every single piece of initial evidence points right at him.
It's designed to be overwhelming.
Totally. As a viewer, you're instantly put in the shoes of the neighbor or the public, the person who just believes the worst because how could you not?
You've got it. The narrative isn't subtle, it's a demonstration. Neighbors start whispering, society just spits judgment. The phrase used in the source analysis is that he receives a life sentence handed out by society even before the court speaks.
So the physical prison is almost secondary.
It's almost an afterthought to the social prison he's already in.
And the analysis we have, it spares no detail describing his life inside. He isn't just locked up, he's dehumanized.
He goes from being this struggling father to just a monster. That's what they call him. In the eyes of the inmates, the system, everyone, he's targeted, beaten, abused.
It's a total ostracization. And the film uses this incredibly vulnerable, low-status character to show the sheer speed and totality of this kind of instant conviction. It shows that this kind of judgment, it doesn't care if you're rich or poor. It just crushes.
And that deep dive into his trauma, it brings us to the core philosophical question the film forces on us. It's a question the analysis calls a cry from the soul.
Which is?
If your whole life, your identity, your integrity, if it's all systematically dismantled by what everyone else believes, if the entire world calls you guilty, does the truth, the one hidden inside you, does it even matter anymore?
Wow. Yeah, that question cuts deep. Because it's not about legal outcomes at that point. It's about your psychological reality.
Right. The film keeps peeling back layers, showing what the source calls the bitter truths, shocking betrayals, and the cruelty of assumption. It's just an appeal for basic humanity in the face of what feels like certainty.
And this is where the analysis gets really interesting, talking about the casting.
Oh, the performance. It's highlighted as absolutely crucial. He's played by an actor named Rajpal Yadav.
And if you're familiar with Indian cinema, you know him almost exclusively as a comedian, a high-energy comedic actor.
Which is why the choice is so impactful. It's a deliberate subversion of what you expect.
The source material calls it his most heartbreaking and haunting performance, precisely because he isn't playing a hero or a villain. He's just playing an ordinary man who is completely, utterly crushed.
He's confused, cornered, and, he's fundamentally unable to even articulate a defense against this this tidal wave of accusation.
And the analysis really hones in on the technical side of his acting. It says he doesn't just act the part, he bleeds emotion.
Yes, his silence, his brokenness, the look in his eyes, it's all described as being louder than any scream.
So by using a comedic actor, the film denies the audience that comfort of seeing a stock character. You're forced to see the human being underneath the label.
And this is listed as one of the key reasons the film needs to be seen today. It forces empathy for the accused, no matter their status.
The power of that vulnerability, that feeling of a life being destroyed by a rush to judgment, that's what makes the message so timeless. And it transitions us almost seamlessly from fiction to reality when we look at the case the sources gave us.
The 2025 Maharashtra judge case.
Right.
The sources picked this one because it's such a stark, high-status parallel to Sagar Hussein's low-status struggle. And the facts are, they're sobering. We're talking about a former judicial officer from Maharashtra.
Accused by his own minor daughter.
Yes, of repeated sexual assault, with the incidents allegedly happening between 2014 and 2018.
The case moves slowly. The FIR, the initial police report, wasn't registered until 2019, but the real contemporary relevance that comes in 2025.
That's right. The legal system is moving forward. Specifically, in June 2025, the Supreme Court refused to quash the charges against him.
And these charges are under the POCSO Act, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offenses Act. That's a major, very stringent piece of legislation in India.
It is. And the Supreme Court's refusal to just dismiss the charges sends this incredibly important message. Your rank, your social status, it can't be a shield. The law has to run its course for everyone.
And this is where the source material brings us right back to the dilemma, echoing the darkest questions from the film Undertrial.
Yes, we have to look at the two radically different scenarios that exist now for this person. And we're just reporting on the source material's impartial analysis here.
So on one hand, you have scenario A. If the judge is found guilty, well, the system works. It confirms the allegations and it sends a powerful message about accountability.
Justice is served. Equal application of the law, even for those who used to wield it.
But then you have scenario B, and this is the exact scenario the film was warning us about. If he's ultimately found not guilty, if the charges don't hold up in court.
The damage is called irreparable. I mean, we're talking about a shattered reputation, the permanent loss of a career, the complete destruction of his dignity.
And what the sources analyze here is the difference in speed and scale of the condemnation. Sagar Hussein, the laborer, he was ground down slowly by contempt and poverty. The judge, though, he fell instantly from a great height.
Precisely. His social standing is gone. His career has collapsed. He went from being this respected authority figure, a man who literally presided over justice.
Just someone drowning under public judgment.
Yeah. His fate, really, regardless of the final verdict, has already been sealed by assumption, by media coverage, by the social narrative that took hold the second the news broke.
So if Sagar Hussein's fictional fate in 2007 was a tragedy of assumption, what does this real-life 2025 case tell us about where we are now? Why is this film even more relevant today?
Because today, the whole infrastructure of judgment is hyper-accelerated.
Yeah.
The sources are really clear that the speed of communication is the true enemy of due process now.
Right. In 2007, it was about slower media cycles, local gossip.
Exactly. Today, that entire process is digitized. It's viral.
A rumor doesn't just spread. It can ruin a life inside a single news cycle. An allegation isn't a story. It's a global headline in minutes, often with, zero corroboration needed for that first wave of outrage.
And that's the core mechanism of instant conviction. Society just doesn't wait. The social media jury, the headline writer, the comments section, they convict before a court can even schedule a hearing.
So the accused, guilty or innocent, pays this immediate heavy price long before a verdict. They lose their job, their friends, their mental stability.
Which is why the film becomes this forced confrontation with a painful truth. It's a reminder that justice isn't just about punishing the guilty. It's also fundamentally about protecting the innocent from that kind of condemnation.
It stops being just a movie and becomes more like an ethical warning.
A powerful one. The moral mandate is universal. It doesn't matter where you live. Slow down, think critically, listen, and just. Allow the truth to breathe. We've built a system of social justice that moves way too fast for empathy or due process to keep up.
And the sources really advocate for watching the film today because it humanizes the accused. That's a vital distinction we lose in the digital rush, isn't it? The film doesn't say he's innocent.
No.
It just reminds us that the person in the middle of that storm is a human being until a court decides otherwise. And that's a crucial act of empathy.
And you need that empathy because, as the source points out, truth is often hidden. It can be obscured by fear, by power, by pressure, by manipulation. When you see the full story of Sagar Hussain, you realize it's a chilling reflection of countless people, rich, poor, famous, unknown, who've been swallowed by misunderstanding or, just premature judgment.
It's a really unfortunate realization, isn't it? Looking at the 2007 fictional warning and the 2025 real-life echo, it feels like the world still hasn't learned the lesson the film was trying to teach.
Not at all. Whether it's Sagar Hussain, the judge, or the hundreds of stories that never make headlines, that pattern of social conviction just repeats itself at an alarming, now an accelerated rate.
The enduring lesson is just how frighteningly real it is that the damage society does to an innocent person, their dignity, their career, can never be undone.
We have to recognize the fundamental importance of fairness, of humanity, in our initial knee-jerk response to these things.
And that brings us to the final provocative thought. Something for you to really think about as you navigate the news feeds and the social verdicts of today.
If the law has to strike hard when someone is guilty, but the damage is irreparable when they're innocent, then the core question that both the film and these real-life echoes demand we face is this: who judges the judgment? It's a question that requires all of us to slow down and consider our own role in that societal rush to condemnation.